Okay, so today's project was to make a seat for my brother-in-law's trailer he just got, and he wanted like his dogs on there. I did have one good photo of one of the dogs, but the others was, his previous dogs, and all we had was old cell phone photos and stuff like that. I put a picture of, how it came out, and then I just wanted to show how I done it in Photoshop. So when you open Photoshop, you click new file, and this new document thing will pop up. It'll ask you can name it whatever you want, so I'm just going to name it dogs. And then here, where it says width and height, just so that I'll get the aspect ratio correct, what I'm going to do is, it was actually 46 inches long, and then 17 inches high. The resolution I'm going to put to 260 because that's the dots per inch that I use on the laser. So, and now say create, and then now you've got this, you can just basically edit the photos on there as you want. Mine was 4 separate photos. I'll quickly just open it so you can see how mine looked. This is what I ended up with. This is the 4 etchings. It's all on one piece, and like I say, these photos just was not good photos. I just done my best. So yeah, basically you just want to get whatever photos you want, because now this is the correct ratio for your this is your piece of material. And yep, I just added these photos on there, and I actually took it into imag-r and divvied it, so that's why they already look divvied. So okay, I just wanted to quickly show how I done this in Lightburn, because it's bigger and I didn't use print and cut. This was how I done the 4 of them. First of all, I went up here and rotated it 90 degrees, and then actually I rotated it another 180 because it was around the other way. So it was round this way, and what I did was, lucky enough I could fit 2 on at once, as you can see, but still I only done 1 at a time. So how I did that was, I got a square, dragged it out around like just roughly where I wanted, because it's not going to etch anything that's white, and then I put this onto a different layer so it's red, and now all you do is, with this highlighted, you hold control and click the main photo, so they're both highlighted, and then right click and say apply mask to image. And now you can turn this off because you don't want to cut an outside line, or I didn't, so I've turned that off. And now if I preview this, you'll see it's only going to cut, it's only going to etch the one thing. This hasn't been divvied, this image, but this is the exact image, that's why it's showing so dark. But I just wanted to show, and then all I did was, I can just switch this back on, grab this mask and move it down, so now it's just on this one. This is lagging a little bit because I've got a lot of programs open, but just try and quickly show you. Oh, one other thing which I did on here was, but yeah, that's how I moved the box around, but let me just get rid of this box. Yeah, one thing I did was, just measured with this ruler from the outside here, just click and drag, and you can see there it's like 2.5 inches roughly to the bottom of that. So yeah, in that first video you'll see me drawing a line right through here, and then that way when I frame it, I can make sure that the bottom frame line is hitting this line, and then all the names are straight. And then so I've done these 2 first, and then all I did was selected it, rotated it 180, and did these 2 just in the same way. So yeah, you just gotta make a box around it where you want, and just make sure that's within the laser, and then control and click your main image, right click, and now you'll see apply mask to image. Yep, and then that way even though it's overhanging, it'll still let you cut your thing. It'll still let you etch, you know, it won't say it's overhanging. Oh, one other thing, make sure you got cut selected graphics. I'm not sure how much difference that makes. And one other important thing is, don't forget, if you don't want to cut this line, just switch it off there. Switch the output off. You can even leave the show on if you want, but just switch the output off, otherwise it is going to cut a line around. And the speeds and power, I did show them in the video, but it was a 400 speed and a 40 power, 260 dots per inch and low air. That was the settings I went with. And this is 3/4 inch Formica. So yep, I'll get on with the video. Thank you. Showing there of the laser head. Or what I did was actually moved it all the way down to the bottom, and then as you can see there in that video, and then I just lifted it up into focus, or actually I made it a little bit out of focus. You can see I put the razor blade on top to make it around 6.5 mil, that is. And then yeah, as you can see, I made a test piece, and it shows the different speeds and powers that I used when I done it. So that was how I chose what speed and power I was going to use for the main. Okay, so in this clip I'm just marking out where the design's going to go, because rather than use the print and cut, because it was 4 separate images, I thought, you know, I'd do it in the 4 separate images. So yeah, we're just getting it framed up in there ready, and making sure that the writing meets the line along the bottom that I made. So then yeah, I'm just showing the time lapse there. The picture of Brutus is one I took myself, but all the others were like old cell phone pictures or stuff like that. I mean, they all come out pretty good, apart from Apollo, the one you can see there on the right. And that was just because the picture was so bad, I couldn't, you know, I messed with it and tried to get it as good as I could, but it didn't come out great. But I'll show a bit closer up there in that video. And then what I had to do was find a way to cover the edges in, because the edges of that wood are rough, so it was going to be used as the seat in the trailer. So what I did in the end was to cover up the wood shown. To cover the wood, what I did was got some small, like 1/4 inch corner bead, and then that left a perfect gap for some LED lights to run in there. And because he already had the LEDs in his trailer, it kind of matched him pretty nice. So there's the video after the lights and stuff. I also made, as you can see, the transition from the ramp to his trailer. I made him, you know, he had the piece of metal, and I etched on there Burnout pad Kawasaki, so he thought he'd test it out while he was there. So yeah, and he did go over the writing, and it actually made it darker, so yeah, I don't think that'll rub off too soon. And then there was just some photos and video of the table. And yeah, it's trailer, it's getting there, but it's not quite finished yet, but it's getting close. Got a few more bits to add. And yeah, you can see that with your wiring just right at the edge, and just straight into the 12-volt battery. So when he turns his battery on in the trailer, that will come on with the battery. And then we just cut it down to length and stuck it back, and then glued and taped the corner bead on and held it all there in place till it dried, then just drove a few small nails in there. But yeah, so thank you for watching, and please like and subscribe, and I will put out another video as soon as possible. Thank you.